Right now at 5, still counting and still no winner. The presidential election hangs in the balance tonight, and President Trump is weighing his legal options as ballots are still counted.
Coronavirus cases climbing in Indiana, another record-setting day, and the Indianapolis Colts take action after a staff member tests positive for COVID-19.
Mysterious packages are popping up on doorsteps here in central Indiana. I'm Kara Kenny. Will tell you why it's part of a rising scam and what you should look for.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 5, streaming now.
Now at 5, 2 days after the election, and the counting continues, and still no projected winner in the race for president. Good evening, I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starrentino. A handful of key battleground states are still counting all of their ballots. You can see on ABC's map that Joe Biden is still holding a 253 to 214 lead in electoral votes over President Trump. 270 is the magic number. Nevada, Georgia, and Pennsylvania are among the states that still have not been called. ABC's Alex Brachet has the latest from the White House.
Tonight, the election spotlight is just on a handful of states that can pave a path to victory for either presidential candidate. ABC News projecting former Vice President Joe Biden likely to win Michigan and Wisconsin. And he's now just 17 electoral votes shy of the 270 needed to win the presidency. Heading into this afternoon, Pennsylvania had about 560,000 mail-in ballots left to count. Biden needing roughly 61% of those to win the state.
It's clear that we're winning enough states to reach 270 electoral votes needed to win the presidency.
His campaign confident, as mail-in voters have favored Democrats, and much of the outstanding vote comes from heavily Democratic Philadelphia, though the city's facing increased scrutiny over vote counts. And a Pennsylvania judge granted the Trump campaign's request to more closely observe poll workers.
Give us access! Give us access!
As they process remaining mail-in ballots. If President Trump loses here, the race is over.
We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election.
The president's aides telling ABC News there's growing concern in Georgia as well. The margin there now razor thin, less than 15,000 votes in favor of Trump.
Fast is great, and we appreciate fast. We more appreciate accuracy.
New numbers out of Nevada show another close race, Biden slightly increasing his lead, though only 80% of the expected vote is in. Eyes also on Arizona, where Mr. Trump has been closing the gap as each new tally is released. Trump supporters demanding the vote counting continue there.
I don't understand what these protesters are interested in. Obviously, we're going to keep counting ballots. That's what we are required to do by law.
Sources close to President Trump tell ABC News that his path is narrow and looking increasingly tough. Meanwhile, Joe Biden is urging his supporters to remain patient. And while his campaign has not declared victory, it has moved on to the next phase, setting up a Biden-Harris transition website. Alex Brachet, ABC News, the White House.
Indiana was called for President Trump very quickly Tuesday night, but absentee ballots are still being counted in Marion County. More than 6,200 votes have already been counted today. Overall, more than 207,000 absentee ballots have been tabulated in Marion County, and the counting continues at this hour. No word on when it will be complete.
Our Democracy 2020 coverage continues with a look at the ongoing lawsuits from President Trump to stop the counting of votes in some states. WRTV's Rafael Sanchez joins us with the political insiders.
It is now time for our political insiders. The big story at this moment: who will be the president of the United States in 2021? A number of lawsuits by President Trump's campaign to stop the votes in some states. Kip, to what will happen in this case? In these cases,
several suits all over in different places in the country where they're trying to muck up the works. They're trying to do whatever they can do to create chaos. And this is, the United States of America. We're a democracy. Indiana's still counting votes. We need to count votes until we know who the winner is.
Existence of a lawsuit itself is not weird in an election sense. There's tons of these things that get filed every cycle. What you're watching for is the courts have to actually use the law to figure out what has merit and what doesn't. I think most of this will fall away pretty quickly.
I think for the Trump folks, they know they're not getting these votes. And so they've got to file these lawsuits because they've got to make it look like it was stolen from them rather than they actually lost the election. I mean, at this point in the game, you know what you have coming in, and you know what you have out, and you know what you need to win by, or what you're going to lose by.
We need to count these ballots, and to be clear, these aren't people still voting. These are ballots that were cast before deadlines or by the deadlines. Part of the reason some of this is taking so long and is so frustrating for a lot of folks is that a lot of people voted by mail who maybe would normally vote in person. And they weren't allowed to start counting those ballots in a lot of these places until election day or election night.
Our political insiders, thank you so much. And our Democracy 2020 coverage continues right now on WRTV.com.
Coronavirus cases in Indiana are skyrocketing for the second day in a row, a new record. 4,462 new positive cases. That's 706 more than yesterday's record. Today's results were recorded between October 23rd and yesterday. The total number of cases since March is now more than 196,000. Positivity rates are also climbing. The overall positivity rate for unique individuals, meaning people tested only once, is now at 11.1%. The 7-day rate is up to 17.1% from October 23rd to the 29th. The state is also reporting 45 additional deaths of people with COVID. Those deaths are also reported between October 23rd and yesterday. The statewide total is now at 4,269. And the Indianapolis Colts are in the process of contact tracing after a staff member tested positive for COVID-19. In a tweet, the team says they found out about the positive case this morning. The staff member is now in self-quarantine and under the care of team doctors. A walkthrough workout still took place at the Colts complex, but meetings will be held virtually away from the facility. The team is following the NFL's intensive protocol. The Colts are scheduled to play the Ravens Sunday at Lucas Oil Stadium.
At just about 5:06, at least on my watch, somewhere in that ballpark on what is a beautiful Thursday evening. We've had some thin spots in the clouds through the day. There's a break in the cloud cover as you're over Putnam County. That will make a good-looking sunset. Temperatures this evening, they're hanging in the 60s. We're cooler than yesterday, as predicted, because of the cloud cover. Temperatures low to mid-60s most locations right now. You can see Plainfield 67, 66 down in Edinburgh. The southwest wind doing what it can to keep our temperatures close to the 70-degree mark. But if we had more sunshine, I think we would be up and over that 70-degree mark. Let's look what's itching to return. Temperatures in the 70s, and we'll have that tomorrow right on through Tuesday. Quite a stretch of weather. There are your Friday forecast numbers. Hourly forecast takes us into the 70s, probably just after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll talk about our Friday night football forecast, look into the weekend, and the change that arrives for next week coming up.
We'll see you soon, Kevin. Thank you. New video shows what happened before and after a man was shot in the arm by IMPD officers. This happened in September on the city's east side. Today, Metro Police released this video to the public. It contains footage from security cameras as well as an officer's body camera showing exactly what led up to the shooting and how officers handled it. You can see 2 people fire at each other as officers walk up. Police say responding officers believed he fired at them, so they returned fire, hitting the man in the arm. Video shows them providing aid to the man and the woman that he's accused of shooting. The chief says releasing this video is an effort to increase transparency and build trust within the community.
I don't like the community to wonder about what the department is doing and what the officers are doing. And I think in this one, they'll see the danger of the job, how quickly things can happen. How quickly the officers got on top of that situation, and then lastly, how quickly they started giving first aid.
You can find the full video on our website at WRTV.com. 2 people are facing charges in this case, and the officer who fired his weapon is still on administrative leave as the case is reviewed. Metro Police are still looking for a suspect in a homicide that happened on the northeast side of Indianapolis. Officers were called just after midnight to North Dearborn Street, just south of 25th Street. The man who police found suffering from a gunshot wound there later died at the hospital. The victim's name has not been released. Indianapolis is now at 205 homicides for the year.
Still ahead on WRTV, Medicare scam. Beware of an unexpected delivery showing up at your door. What you need to know to protect yourself. History-making toys that you might remember from your childhood. The classics that will now be remembered forever. WRTV Investigates has uncovered a rising scam aimed at Medicare recipients. This time the scammers are stealing your Medicare dollars and peace of mind. Our Kara Kenny finds out how it works and how you can protect yourself.
Mysterious packages are popping up on Medicare recipients' doorsteps. The Federal Trade Commission says it's all part of the back brace scam.
Typically, I'll just hang up the phone.
Nick Spurgettis of Bloomington got a phone call from Medicare, even though he's not on Medicare.
The call that you get will typically start with a pre-recorded message saying that you are eligible for a free or low-cost back or knee brace under Medicare.
Nick hung up the phone, but says the caller was convincing.
They've asked me for personal information, my Medicare number, name, address, phone number, social security number, and things like that.
That's the back brace.
Anna Miller in Oklahoma wasn't so lucky. Anna rifles through her package, a back brace, shoulder brace, and a couple other pieces of medical equipment, all addressed to her, even though she never ordered them.
They must have thought I was in bad shape to send me both of them in one box.
And the worst part, the cost of the back brace charged to her Medicare account.
Well, I thought it was terrible. I figured it was it was false.
It's a scam the Federal Trade Commission says is on the rise, targeting your Medicare dollars and personal information. Medicare is investigating the matter. Senior Medicare Patrol in Indiana says they're getting a lot of complaints as well.
These people are good. They're scammers. I mean, I always say they can talk the chicken off the bone. They make you want it. Even though you don't need it, you don't have pain.
If someone calls and says they're with Medicare and offers you a free or low-cost brace, hang up right away. Medicare will never call you with such an offer.
Don't order it. Often I say, would you pick up a hitchhiker? And everybody's like, no way. Well, picking up your phone, as you know, is like picking up a hitchhiker because you really don't know who's on the other end.
Working for you, Kara Kenny, WRTV.
A few things to keep in mind. Never give your Medicare or other personal information over the phone to anyone who calls asking for it. If you do need a brace or medical equipment, talk to your doctor. Sellers on the phone don't know what you need. And don't accept medical equipment you get in the mail unless you or your doctor ordered it. Remember, you do not have to pay for things you did not order.
Continuing now with our Democracy 2020 coverage in the race for president. If you look at the results in several states, one thing is clear. Whatever the final number is, it's going to be close. So would a recount actually make a difference if this one takes place? Well, Scripps political reporter Joe St. George with a look at what the past tells us about the possible future.
In some states, recounts are automatically triggered. In other states, candidates have to ask for them. But one thing is clear, recounts rarely change outcomes. Since 1980, there have been 5,778 statewide elections. There have only been 31 completed statewide recounts. Only 3 of those races have actually changed after a recount. That's according to fairvote.org. Perhaps the most famous recount of all was in Florida in 2000, but the 2000 Florida recount, the final margin only shifted by 1,247 votes, or around 0.02%. In a recount in 2016 in Wisconsin for the presidential race, the final vote there changed by just 571 votes, or 0.02%. We asked political scientist Dr. Eric Clawville at Norfolk State University about whether recounts really matter.
I believe that recounts in themselves are not in favor of those that have lost a race. Unless it's a very, very, very close margin, we're talking maybe less than 100 ballots. But usually, even with that margin of error, it's a very small opportunity for the loser to actually win.
So if a race is close, in the end, expect a recount. After all, it's what the losing candidate wants. But unless the margin is a couple hundred votes or less, don't expect anything to change. In Washington, I'm Joe St. George.
Now to your Storm Team 6 forecast. And Kevin, we wouldn't mind counting on more days like this.
Oh, you can put a check mark on the calendar on many more days like this. Okay, you got to help me out here, Amanda. In my home studio, I can't always see the video. So we're going to show now video of someone walking a dog.
Yes, because it was a great day.
And you tell me if I'm right. Is it a Great Dane?
Close. It was a Chihuahua.
Chihuahua?
It was a Chihuahua. But my Chihuahua thinks he's a Great Dane, so now we have another cutie. I don't know exactly what that one is, but very cute dogs. I like this video.
It's a small dog?
It was a small dog. Now it's another dog that's a little bigger. What do you think it is, Mark? I don't even know. There's the Chihuahua again.
Multiple. See that game? We play Guess the Dog. All right, guess the clouds that we have across central Indiana. Stratus clouds in most locations, and those will clear tonight. Set the stage for a beautiful day tomorrow. You can already play peekaboo with the setting sun as we look to the west. 67 in Muncie, 65 in the metro area. Temperatures tonight will stay in the mid-40s. No reason for a long face. The next several days will be dry and sunny, pushing record temperatures on Sunday and Monday. As we get to Tuesday, we'll keep our eye on thunderstorm potential. Depending on the timing, a few of those could be strong to severe. That's down the road a bit. Next 3 days, specific temperatures here. How about that? 71 tomorrow, will peak on Sunday at 75. The record Sunday, I have it written down here, 1999, we hit 76 degrees. Right now we're within a degree. And actually, we've been overperforming some on these temperature forecasts. The air's so dry with all that sunshine, we just really expand the temperature from morning low to afternoon high. There's your beautiful Friday. A beautiful Friday leads into a great Friday night. All of these temperatures from north to south well above the average high of 58. 70 in Marion, 72 in Petersburg. Hello to Richmond in Wayne County, 71 your anticipated high tomorrow. A little warmer, western portions of the state. Northern Clay County in Brazil at 73. Other temperatures in the low 70s from Sullivan to Seymour and Greensburg to Bloomington. Friday night football. Comfortable is a good adjective. You can choose a different one if you want. Wind will be out of the southwest, but not very strong. Temperatures will stay in the 50s for overnight temperatures. And as you look at the 7-day planner, it comes crashing to an end. Our warm temperatures do. Showers and thunderstorms Tuesday night, potentially strong to severe, depending on the timing. Then Wednesday and Thursday, highs in the 50s. We'll be back in the 30s for lows by Thursday morning. But I can say this, beyond the 7-day forecast, indications are our temperatures will bounce back after our quick dip back to average temperatures. Mark, Amanda?
Thank you, Kevin. Holiday sales are starting and kids are always fascinated by the new toys on the market. How about a look at some oldies but goodies that just made it into the Toy Hall of Fame? Here's the winner, Baby Nancy, the first black doll to have an afro and dark skin. The groundbreaking doll was launched nationwide in 1968. The second winner, Sidewalk Chalk. Great masterpieces have been created on sidewalks all over the world with chalk. And last but not least, Jenga. According to the manufacturer, the wooden block game was created in Ghana in the 1970s. And fun fact here, the record for the highest known Jenga tower is 40 complete stories. The winning selections were made on the advice of historians and educators. Fun.
I'm pretty good at Jenga, by the way.
I know, we've played, and he's beat me every time.
That's right. Just about everyone has used a sticky note at one time or another, but what if you could save paper with a reusable replacement? We're going to show you one man's creation that is Shark Tank approved.
Welcome back. Well, this year, our homes have become schools and offices, and a lot of us are using technology like never before.
Mine became a studio. But our Brian Sanders from our Scripps station in Denver shows us something very low-tech called the eyes of ABC Shark Tank, and it may work for you at home, too.
Leave it to a software developer to launch a product that pulls us out of the digital age and into simpler times. Anthony Franco noticed something about all businesses when ideas started flowing.
I just noticed that when the real work started to happen in those rooms, it was with sticky notes and whiteboards.
So taking a page from the old pen and paper, he unveiled MC Squares, a dry erase organizing tool to be used over and over again.
One of our stickies is a dry erase reusable sticky note, and each one of them replaces 2,000 paper sticky notes. You peel the backing off and they'll stick to anything shiny. They actually stick with suction. A lot of people think they're magnetic. They're not magnetic. They'll stick to glass.
The company was thrust into the limelight with an appearance on ABC's Shark Tank, and Mr. Wonderful Kevin O'Leary made an offer.
The adrenaline hits you really at its peak when you're standing in front of the doors just before they open up down the hallway. And you hear this guy go, 10, 9, and you're like, what am I doing? One after one, they came down, and the shark that I thought was least likely to understand what we do totally got us and is now a great partner for us.
MC Squares has since expanded into a former Hobby Lobby in Thornton, where they're cranking out the orders.
This pile represents essentially 25 million paper sticky notes.
And their product line appeals to students, teachers, and high-level execs alike.
These are generally used for by project managers or organizers in an office environment. They write down their tasks, they can sort. This is what we call our homework kit. It comes with tacky markers, which are smudge-free dry erase markers.
Making the work or learn from home experience that much easier.
Well, look at that. That was Brian Sanders reporting, by the way. To learn more about the products, you can go to mcsquares.com.
The pandemic has cost thousands of people their jobs. Tonight, we are finding a resource you can take advantage of that could help you rebound during this unprecedented time. That's tonight at 6. And next on the news at 5:30, eye-opening research about the part of our body that may be the primary source of spreading COVID-19.